Avoiding these top two mistakes is the best way to start fasting. Number one, don't fast too fast. Most people go hard fast. They'll start on a fasting plan and their body is not yet ready to do a long fast. We need to build our body up to fasting, because if you're not going even 12 hours without fasting, doing a 16-8, which means you're fasting for 16 hours a day and eating only within 8 hours. For example, if you stop eating at 6 p.m. and the next day you don't eat till 12 p.m., a lot of people skip breakfast and they can easily do that. Their body is more metabolically flexible. But if you find that you get hangry, you get headaches, you get really low energy if you haven't eaten for a long time, then you've probably hit a hypoglycemic dip, which means your blood sugar is typically low. And there's two reasons for that. And the first one is your body isn't used to going a long period of time without eating. So you really don't want to extend that and push the limit at the beginning, unless you want to, you'll have symptoms for a few days, but not everyone wants to do that. And I really believe in a slow, steady approach, nothing to shock the body. What I want to show you here is that if you're fasting over several days and weeks, your body will first get its storage, it'll get its fuel from glucose, which is sugar from the food that you eat. That's the glycogen in your liver, and then it will get it from your proteins first. Over time, it will build up ketones, which is basically energy from burning fat. It takes weeks to do that. So if you don't eat for a long time and then your body, so basically you're fasting, you will not be able to burn fat immediately. It takes weeks to build up that muscle. So start slow, go steady. And ideally, the first week, generally when Dr. Karen and I have taught a course on fasting, we generally start with a 12-hour fast. We go week 2 days, 14 hours, maintaining 12 hours the other days. Then we do 2 16s. Then the next week, 2 18s, then 3 18s. Then we get to a 20-hour fast for one of those. And then the next one, we get to a 24-hour fast, which means that you eat once. So I really urge you not to go hard too quickly, because you'll feel that energy dip, and it's not necessary. We don't need to do that to our bodies. You can do this the right way without feeling that. The second most important thing to avoid those energy dips and also to fast the right way is to have this meal before and after your fast. So what that means is you've got protein, fats, and fiber for sure. Smart carbs are optional, especially if you're wanting to lose weight, but you do need some carbs in terms of either root vegetables or fruits in general in anyone's diet. I don't generally recommend to completely eliminate those carbs. So we do need that. But in terms of grains, like whole grains, things like that, those can be optional for a period of time. But when you break your fast, most important is that you have fats and fiber, generally from veggies. Fruit has obviously more sugar, especially the tropical fruits. But generally the meal you have at dinner time should include fats and should include veggies. You also need protein. So think fat, fiber, protein. Because if you spike your, let's say the meal that you have after you fast has a lot of carbs, like let's say a big oatmeal or a big plate of rice with some curry or whatever it may be, it's a lot of carbs and you're actually doing the opposite of what you wanted to do. So your insulin goes down when you fast. And when insulin goes down, it's the key to burning fat and burning fuel. And the moment you have a high carb meal, your insulin goes back up and stores fat again. So that will obviously do the opposite of what you wanted to do. So those are the top two things: is eat a healthy plate before and after your fast. And so that way you'll have sustainable energy, and then start slowly. Start with a 12-hour fast and then move your way up. Generally, water, coffee, tea, and cinnamon, even stevia is proven to not raise blood sugar or insulin, because you just don't want to do that. You can take most vitamins, but fish oil will have a concentrated amount of fat, so it's better to wait. The only exception is if you're taking medicine that needs to be taken with food, and I would check with your doctor on this. And some of the other questions I get and have gotten recently were about age. Can we fast? If someone is 45, can they fast is there a different fasting protocol for different ages? The fasting is not recommended if someone is pregnant or breastfeeding. or if their doctor has advised against it. But typically, there's no contraindication for anyone fasting, even at older ages, not just 45. Each person is individual. So what people will find is even that fasting program that I just showed you over 8 weeks, that will be very individual. Some people will be happily do a 16-8 every day. Others will do a 16-8 a couple days a week. That's all they need. Others will do one 24-hour fast a week and the rest 12 hours. So everyone has a different schedule for losing weight, number one, if they want, and another one for maintaining their weight or just having a nice fasting schedule. Because generally, longer term fasting helps you reduce, in general, if you fast every day, you reduce inflammation, you improve your weight, you reduce joint pain. There's a whole host of benefits that come from fasting. And a longer fast can also increase this process called autophagy, which is when the cells eat themselves and you're getting rid of flabby skin, cancer cells, damaged cells. The body is repairing. When it's not digesting, it's actually in repairing mode. And if you don't go long enough without being in repairing mode, then there is going to be damage. And that's why it's also known as a method for anti-aging as well. So there have been studies that have shown that seniors have done very well on a 16-8 fast. Now, they haven't done head-to-head studies for seniors in doing a 16-8 versus other types of fasting. But what is most important is to watch how your body does and just go slowly and get to a point where if you feel like it's too much or you've done, it just seems too extreme, then that may be too much for you. And there also may be other things at play. So it's not only about your energy when it's fasting, it's also about your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, if you're getting the right healthy plate in, if you're getting enough. Some people who fast too much, in general, they're not getting enough protein or enough nutrients if they're fasting all the time and skipping several meals a week. They get weight loss quickly, but it's not really sustainable because cortisol levels also go up way high, which is a stress hormone. So you don't want to do too much. Just do it to a reasonable extent. And if you need support, don't hesitate to let me know. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching.